Hello everyone. I hope I'm live. I hope you can see me. I'm Katrina with Kathleen Creations, Wreaths and Things. And hold on one second, my husband just came in. Hello everyone. I'm Katrina, the creator of Kathleen Creations, Wreaths and Things. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied. This is my first time doing a video. I wanted to show you how I do some of my wreaths. One of the wreaths I wanted to do today is a spring wreath with this sign here on a rail form, which is the long form. It's called a mailbox wreath form because it can be bent to over your mailbox, or it can be hung the long way for a swag or a wreath. And it comes with the tinsel ties. Most of them come with the tinsel ties. I have put some Chanel stems on the middle because we're going to be adding some mesh to the middle. I'll show you how I glued them down. I actually glued them down. This is the sign we're going to be using today, which says spring. And this actually comes raw, like without the color. I then found some spring color paint that I had. I've colored them each individually. This is them close up. Pretty boot with the flower and then the spring wording to go on it. I've also already attached some of my Chanel stems to the back where we're going to attach it to the rail form when we're done. And I'll also show you how I attach it to the back when we get there. These are the spring ribbons that I decided to use with my wreaths today. These are the colors I wanted to be very springy. So it's beautiful. The lime green, the pink, the blues, the purples, and of course the boot ribbon there. The mesh that I'm using today is a mesh that I got, I think it's at, it was at Michael's when they have all their spring mesh out. So I picked this up at Michael's. And it's like the natural jute with a little bit of the blue, the pink, and the green in it. So very springy. Now to get the wreath form ready for us to make the wreath that we want to make today, I've attached extra Chanel stems to the middle bar. These do not come like this. I had to attach it. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. This is to one of them. I've done the rest of them. The bottom one, you take a Chanel stem, and what I do is I actually put a little dollop of glue right where the Chanel stem touches the wreath format. Try to get it in the middle as best you can. It don't have to be exact. Put a little dollop of glue there, and then you just twist it on. Once I twist it around twice, I then take the glue gun and I put a little dollop of glue right here on each end. And then you set it aside and let it dry. Now for the spring sign, we want to get this ready. So we're ready for it to be ready to go on the wreath. The spring sign, I put a Chanel stem to the back here. I've attached it. I've also attached it here. And now I'm going to show you how I attach it to the bottom. This little black piece here is a piece of little small felt that I just folded over 1 or 2 times and glued it to the back. The reason being is when I put my staple in to hold my Chanel stem, I don't want it to come through on this side. It gives it a little bit more where it won't come through on the opposite side. Get your staple gun, get your Chanel stem, and you just staple it on. And you see it right there. And what I do for a little extra protection, I actually take a little bit of glue and I add some glue on top of that, and then I take it and I twist it. Fortunately, one of my is coming up with. and you set it aside. It is now glued and stapled. Set it aside so it can dry. The young man you see walking in the background, that's my husband. His name is Leon. Everybody say hello. Now we're going to cut our mesh. Now we want all our mesh. Now we have 17 zip ties or 17 ties on this. So we need 17 pieces of mesh cut at 30 inches. 17, if you count them up here, 17. So we need 17 cuts of this in 30 inches. So you take your mesh. It's not quite 30, so I'm going to open up a new one. I already have 15 of them over here, so we only need 3 more. Well, really 14. That's 15. 16, and then one more. So that's the 17. And now we can put the mesh aside. Now all of our chenille stems should be secured to the frame. So now we're going to open up all our chenille stems. We're going to start on this side. Just open them up. Push this to the side. We're going to take our mesh. We're going to fold it under. We're going to take our mesh and just take the end and fold it under. So we have the mesh. We take the end, we fold it under before we start walking the mesh in. And what you do is you just gather your mesh. This mesh is real easy to stay in the middle because you have a blue strip there, this color here. That blue is right down the middle. So all you got to do is follow that blue line and you just scrunch it up. Bring the other into you. When you get to the end, you fold in that end and bring it in. And there you have a bow tie. And then you just add it to your wreath form. Push it down really good when you go to secure it in your wreath form. Push it down really good. You only got to twist it once. Spread out your mesh so it looks like one round circle. And then you move on to the next. Fold in the end, take it, fold it in, and then just walk it. Get to the end, fold up the other end, and bring it in. Take it, put it in the next tie that's open on your wreath frame. Push it down, twist it. This is what you got so far. It's starting to look really pretty. Just with these two up there. Beautiful colors. Let's go on. Once again, get to that end, you fold it over. And the reason why we folded it over is to just help with the fraying of mesh. All mesh frays, no matter what, it's going to fray a little bit. When you're using your burlap, you can use the heat sealer and it won't fray as much, but all mesh frays. So we just want to minimize how much it frays. So we do that curling in the ends. That way you don't see it as much or it won't do it as much. So when you get to the end, you curl in that end, tuck it under, put in your next zip ties. I can't see anybody's comments, so if you're commenting right now, I can't see your comments. Like I said, this is my first time doing the video, so I haven't gotten the phone set up where I can see the comments, so eventually I will be able to see your comments. I'm saying hello. That's everybody that's saying hello to me. I'm glad you decided to join me today. Hopefully you learned something. And if you don't mind, would you like and subscribe my page? That will really help my business grow. Once again, we get to the end again. We tuck it under. And we have our little bow tie. Stick it on the ribbon. While I'm doing this, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm a mother, a wife. I've worked for the city for a very, very long time. I'm looking towards retiring within the next maybe 10 to 12 years. And I have started making decorations for my friends. They really liked it. I realized I enjoyed doing it. So I've started to make it a business. That's what I'm doing now. So this is really how you start your hobby, how you make your hobby into a business. You start off with humble beginnings like what I'm doing right now, making wreaths in my kitchen, which he really doesn't like. Slowly but surely, I'll have my workroom. And you'll see me making wreaths in it. So we've done this side. See how beautiful and full that is? We've done this side already. Let's go down the other side. Once again, fold that in, and you just walk it up. You try to stay in the middle of your mesh as best you can. Don't have to be exact. This is crafting. Nothing has to be exact. We're not baking a cake, but we have that exact amount measurements. You don't have to do none of that. When you get to the end, tuck that in. There you go. And you put it in your zip tie. You can go to the middle zip tie here, because you have a space open. You can go ahead and hit that middle. And you go to your next one. So if you're watching, tell me where you're from. When you come on, tell me where you're from. Let me know if you're a crafter. And what's your craft? Do you paint? Do you restore furniture? Balloon decorations? Weddings? Or you're a wreath maker? What kind of wreaths do you specialize in? Do you specialize in doing just grapevines? Do mesh? Let me know. If you're a sign maker, let me know. I really like to know about sign makers because I've been looking for people to make my signs. I make some on occasion, but not all the time. Sometimes I'd rather just get and buy the sign. But every now and then I dibble and dabble and make my own signs. If your sign makes it, let me know. This right here, you get to the end once again, tuck it under. There you go. And you go inside to this purple. You get that purple one in there. And you just place it down in there. You have to push your mesh aside. It's okay. It ain't going to hurt it. It'll be alright. It's just mesh. Go back in the middle. Go in the middle here. Like I said, you may have to push your mesh out the way If you just push it right out the way, you stick it down, and you just twist it in. Try not to mess with your mesh too much, because when you do that, you cause it to start fraying, and we want to minimize the amount of fraying. But like I said earlier, mesh is going to fray no matter what. That's what you got a pair of scissors for. Just snip it off. Not a big deal. And I actually have one right here. One little fray over here that we're going to cut off. Because we're going to look at our mesh and we're going to see, and we're going to snip off anything that we need to. I'm going to fold it in again. And go in. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is a live video. My husband is coming home to eat, so you will see him walking back and forth. But this is what you call a live video. So things like that happen. Eventually, I'll get him helping me with these videos. But today, he had to work. Take it. Put it onto your open tie. And stick it down in there. And then you just twist. This mesh likes to stick on itself, so sometimes you have to maneuver it a little bit. Do you see how full that is, ladies and gentlemen? Look how full it is. You cannot see the wreath form at all. At all. Of course this side, because we're still filling in. But if you look over here, you don't see the form at all. That's what you want. You want a nice full wreath. So if you're watching me, what did you do for your Easter? Did you go to church this morning? Did you watch a service on TV? Did you go in person? I know with this whole COVID situation going on, some people are not comfortable with going to church now yet. So did you watch a service online, or did you go to church? Well, let me know. And hello once again to everybody that's joining me. Like I said earlier, I can't see the comments. This is my first time doing my video. I don't have it set up where I can see the comments right now. But as I go on, I will get better, I promise you. And I will be able to interact with you guys better. Likes to catch on itself, this mesh. You just unroll it, not a big deal. Let it drop you crazy. This is crafting, it's not exact science. Nothing has to be perfect. And things can change. I'm going to go in the middle. So you can bend the mesh up a little bit. And go in the Okay, let's move on. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, just want to tell you, you can do this with any wreath, mesh, any sign that you want. It could be Christmas, it could be Valentine's Day, it could be patriotic. Get your mesh, get a wreath form, put it together. It's real simple, real simple. All you gotta do is just put it together. You don't have to use the exact mesh that I'm using. Say if you just had pink mesh, and you had a nice sign to go with it, you can get that mesh, put it together. It's not a problem. You don't have to have the same exact thing that I have to make a beautiful wreath. Anything that you have. Close that up. Make sure you pick your wreath up a little bit. Overlap the ends so it'll be nice and full. We're almost done. Got a couple more to go. I wish I could read your comments. I wish I could see who was on. Once again, thank you for joining me today. So I can show you how I make my wreaths. I get a lot of questions when I have my wreaths on display. A lot of people ask me, oh my goodness, you know, your wreaths look great. I wonder how you make them. I always get asked where do you get your supplies at. So let me tell you guys that. It all depends on where I'm at, and it all depends on what I want to do, where I get my supplies at. Most of my supplies, I would have to say, comes from Craft Outlet. So most of my supplies came from Craft Outlet. Like I said, this did not. This came from Michael's. But if I see nice mesh somewhere, if I'm out and it's Michael's, then I'll get it. But a lot of times I order my supplies, and I get most of mine from Craft Outlet. I also get mine from Rhonda's Creative Corner. She has some really, really nice things. And if you head over there, her mom makes the embellishments for the wreaths. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Gotta go over there and see it when you finish watching it. Then also there's Trinity Tree, which is also a good wreath supply place. And what I found recently, because Craft Outlet was out of frames, I started hunting around for wreath frames, because most wreathers will tell you this whole pandemic thing really did a doozy on us with supplies. And one of the main supplies they didn't have was wreath forms. So it had me looking and searching, and I came across this young man named Zach with Wreaths of Joy. And they sell supplies as well, and they do phenomenal work. And they actually had the wreath forms in abundance. So I actually ordered quite a few things from Wreaths of Joy, Wreath Supply. And if you look that up, they're great people. They make wreaths. His son Zach makes wreaths. He does a great job. His brothers come on and make wreaths with him as well. And they do have an abundance of supplies and ribbons and everything. So you can head over there and get some as well. But like I said, most of the time my supplies come from Craft Outlet. I also started ordering some stuff from Deco Exchange. That's another good one. You can head over to Deco Exchange as well. They have great wreath supplies as well. A lot of picks, a lot of signs. Just about everything you need for your wreath supplies. So those are just couple places I go. And then also, I mean, I shop locally, so I go to Joann's and Michael's. I go into the other place, Hobby Lobby, definitely. Oh, definitely Hobby Lobby. I need to have stock in that store, real. So, yeah, Hobby Lobby, definitely. The only thing about Hobby Lobby is you know when you buy it. Several other people have ordered as well, and you may see that sign or that design somewhere. So I'm the type of person that like to make things that's different from everyone else. So if I do buy something in Hobby Lobby, I try my best to make it unique. Like this here, when I purchased it at Hobby Lobby, it was all natural, did not have any color, was all wood. I then picked out my colors. I at least made it this way, where it was going to be unique to me and to my design. You're the crafter. Make it to what you want. What I've learned through my craft journey is the fact that everybody may not like your design, but there is going to be one person that thinks that is the best. And I've learned that in my craft journey, that it happens. At first I wasn't selling anything on Etsy, and then all of a sudden I started selling things on Etsy. So it can happen. So if you are a new crafter and you're thinking about making your hobby into a business, take me as an example. It's happening. I may be selling my kitchen, doing things on my kitchen counter, but it's happening little by little. So just keep going. The journey is long. This is definitely a journey that takes some time. I figured, being that I'm still going to be working my 9 to 5 for the next 10 years, I think there will be plenty of time for me to get this business up and running before I retire. What you think? You think I'm giving enough time? I think so. Alright, I think that is our last one. And then we'll take a look at it. See how full it is. What you think, ladies and gentlemen? I think it came out great. Look at that. Look at the colors in that. You see the pink, you see the cream, you see the blue. That looks gorgeous. Now let's make it even better. Let's put this to the side, up here. Now let's put our ribbons. Now I've already taken the courtesy of cutting most of them up so you guys don't leave it too long. But I wanted to show you some things on some of them. How to cut them. Right. These are the ribbons like I showed you earlier. These are the ribbons. Got a little confused with what those are what. Okay, good. So, like I showed you before, these are the ribbons that I picked for this design here. And I've already cut them and dovetailed them, and I'm going to show you that. I didn't think you need me to show you how to cut it in 13 inches. But these are cut. Each one's cut. Put it on your mat, you go to 13 inches, and you cut it down. They've all been cut that way. On my little caddy here, pull out my scissors. I'm going to show you how to dovetail. Now how you dovetail, you take the end, take your ribbon, you fold the ends together. See what I did there? Take the ribbon, and you take the ends and you fold it together. So now you just got this little piece here. And you take your scissors, and you cut it on a diagonal. When you cut it on a diagonal, you get what they call dovetail. And you do this to each side. You bring in the ends to meet each other, and then you cut in a diagonal. There you go with your dovetail. So when anybody tell you to dovetail your ribbon, this is what you do. So we just want to dovetail the rest of these. There you go. You got the dovetail on either side. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how you stack them. So you can take the ribbon. This has already been cut. So you can take the ribbon. The ribbons that's the same size, and these are the 1.5 inch ribbons. You take them, stack them. You fold them both, and you take it. You just cut on the diagonal. Same thing, they both come out with the dovetails. So don't think you have to do it individually, one at a time, and only the one style or this style. If they're the 1.5, put the 1.5 together, cut them together, and there you go. I normally do like 3 at a time, 3 or 4 at a time. So we'll take these two here, these two, stack them together, you fold them, and you cut them a diagonal. That's how you dovetail. That's how you dovetail. Real simple to do. Excuse my voice. I have allergies, and this allergy season is really beating me up. So my voice is in and out. It's a little cracky, And I do apologize for that. It's what I have to deal with these allergies. That's all I can do. So once we've had that together, we've done that, do this, that. I like to alternate my colors, my ribbons, so you'll see the yellow and floral, and then you'll see the boot one. And then here you'll see this, and then I alternate, and then you see this with that. And I kind of alternate them all throughout the wreath. I'll alternate them. That's just how I like it. I'll alternate them all throughout the wreath. So let's pull the wreath back out. Now, what I was trying to show you about mesh frame, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a little bit of frame going on in the mesh. A little bit of frame. I don't know if you can see it. But right in here is frame. So what you do is just take your scissors and you snip it. Anything that you see frame, you snip it. Take a look at it. You see any of them? Just snip them out. That's all you do. Real simple. Look at them, see how it's going. You snip it. Give it a good shake. They fall out. Come along the bottom. You see them? Just snip them. Don't be afraid. It's not going to hurt your wreath at all. It'll be okay. It's actually going to make it look a lot better if you just do a quick little snip. Go around it. See where you need to fluff up something. The mesh look like it needs a little help. This one. Now, so let's put this beautiful ribbon on. Take the two ribbons together, and you just fold them in half. No exact sign, just fold them in half where they even. Fold them in half. Increase. Pinch them together. Just like that. Make it a bow tie. Pinch them together. So what you need to do, and you just stick it. Find a zip tie. Find a Chanel sim, open tie, and you just twist it twice. Then what you do with your ribbon is you just take your hands, go underneath it, and roll it out. Go underneath it, and roll it out. What I like to do with my ribbon is I spread them apart. So that'll be your first spot for your ribbons. Let's go to the next one. So you got these two, line them up. Hold them, pinch underneath, pinch them together. That's what you do, just pinch it together. With it. The next bundle, you just stick it in. You don't have to unloose your tie, just put it right on top. See, I'm not looking loose. Then I'm taking my hands and I'm going, sticking my hands and I'm sticking them underneath and rolling them up. Roll them up. And then I'm separating them. Here, and you just do this all the way around. One, two. Let's go around twice. Your hands underneath your ribbon like that, and you just pull them apart. By the way, like I said, my ribbon is cut to 13 inches. You can cut them 12 inches, but I kind of like my ribbons to stand out. So the longer you cut them, the more they'll stand out. You can arrange your ribbon any which way you want to. I like to mix mine up, so I'll change things as I go. Pinch it again, and you just put it in. What's so good about this, ladies and gentlemen, is if you decide you don't like it, you can just take it out. Redo it in another color. Say you don't like how the ribbon looks. Okay, change it. That's all. Not a big deal. Change it. This is what you call art. This is your creative time. You make it the way you want it to be. This is how you're showing how your creative mind is. And if it's not something that agrees with at the time, then it doesn't agree with it. I have made wreaths where I got halfway done and I didn't like it. I redid it. And so I got it the way I wanted it. And pinch again, and then put some time, and just put it right in. We're going to do this all around it. All around the whole wreath. This is what we're going to do. You take your finger, go like that, whichever way you like. Just fluff it up. You're going to mess around with it again because we're going to put some florals in. Check these out, ladies and gentlemen. Got these florals. We're going to put some beautiful florals in it. Because this is a spring wreath, so let's put some florals in it. So you're going to be messing with it some more. So it's okay. You're not where you want it to be. You're going to fix it. It'll be done later. Not a big deal. We're going to fix it. Pinch it, drop it. And say you put it up too high, just untwist it, put it down low. Like I said, this is all in your creative thinking. You put it where you want it to be. This is all up to you. Mix it up. Like I said, you can fluff your ribbon all day. That's something you can do all day. So I'm going back to it. I should be just leaving it alone. I know I should be just leaving it alone. I gotta leave it alone. Gotta move on to the next one because you can fluff your ribbon all day long and still think you need to refluff and refluff and refluff. So if you're watching today, where are you watching from? Where are you from? I'd like to know that. I'm from New York. That's my original, that's my hometown. Born and raised, New York City. Part of New York I was born and raised, that is Brooklyn. Specifically in Brooklyn would be Crown Heights. And that's where I'm from. And most of my family is from there as well. And then I came down here to take care of my mom when she turned ill. So I came down here and I did that. So now I'm just staying down here. My husband's retired, and now we're down here. He's retired from his work in New York, and now he's down here working. So that's what we're doing. What are you doing? And like I said, I can't read your comments right now, but I will read your comments at the end when I get off the live, and I will answer any questions that you ask me. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me those questions, and I will try to. I definitely will answer them once I get off the air, and I can read the comments. And I said eventually I will have everything set up appropriately, and I can interact with you guys more than what I'm doing right now. Right now, all we're doing is putting the ribbons in the wreath right now, bringing a lot of color to this, making it pop. That's what we want to do. This is spring. We want it to say spring. We want people to already know it's spring. It's got to be a spring. As soon as they see the colors, oh, it's got to be spring. That's what we want them. That's what we want them to do. They don't have to guess. What kind of wreath is that? You won't have to guess. They will know that it's spring. Sometimes you have to go in there, fluff up your mesh. You see this thing push down, just go in and fluff it up. Not a big deal. Then you go around and fluff it up. Don't pull on it, don't yank on it too much, because if you do that, then you'll cause it to fray. You'll pull it apart when you do that. So you don't want to do that. But if you need to fluff it up, fluff up the mesh, you can do that. And for anyone that's just joining, my name is Katrina. I'm the owner of Kathleen Creations, Wreaths and Things. I don't know why I get so tongue-tied. I think I need some water. And I'm the owner of Kathleen Creations, Wreaths and Things. I'm just starting to make my hobby into a business. I've been asked a lot of times, how do I make my wreaths? So I figured I would come on video and show you guys how I make some of my wreaths now. I've sold a lot of my wreaths in person. Have not sold a lot on Etsy yet. Hopefully that will change. That will change. But whenever I do any type of craft shows or anything like that, they do sell in person. You know, last one I did, they sold like nine wreaths. That's great. So when people see them in person, they really do like them. So and I've been asked a lot of times, well, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? So I figured I'd come on video and show you guys how I get it done. We want pink. Pink. And like I said, the mesh is cut, in just case you're just starting, the mesh is cut 30 inches long. They're ruffled together and placed into each one of the open ties. This is on a mailbox rail form, and it had tinsel ties on the side, and I added some more Chanel stems on each crossbar. I'll show you that when I get to putting this in. I'm explaining to you again. I cut my ribbon 13 inches, all of them, 13 inches long, and now I'm adding my ribbon into each one of the open ties. So what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? How do you think it's looking so far? I think it says spring. I think it's screaming spring. I know, I love it. I think it's great. I love this natural jute mesh with the spring stripes in it. I think that's beautiful. And then you get to bring out any color you want to. Any color you want to when you're putting it together. Like what I'm doing right now with the colors of the ribbon. You bring out any color you want to. So it really winds up being beautiful. And like I said, listen, you can do this with any mesh you want. Any mesh you want. You can do it for any holiday you want. It doesn't matter. You can do it. This could be a Mother's Day gift. Especially if your mother has a beautiful sunroom. Just a lot of flowers. She can hang this in the bathroom. She's got a real light color bathroom. Has a lot of beautiful colors. She can hang in the foyer. It can hang on the front door. It doesn't even matter. But this can be a beautiful Mother's Day gift. For a housewarming, for a couple that just got married, moved into a house, or a couple that just got a house. Or maybe you guys get a house. You need something beautiful and bright for your front door. Here we go. It's right here, and it's not even finished. You see this? Now that I'm looking at it on video, oh my goodness, that's just gorgeous. Now we got to go down the middle. Forgot the dovetail one, so let's dovetail it. Now, don't be like me, ladies and gentlemen, and cut yourself with the scissors. Of course, when I was prepping my ribbon, cutting my ribbon, I snipped my finger. Got a Band-Aid on it. Yeah, I cut myself. It happens. And all crafters, you know, we wind up cutting ourselves and also burning ourselves with the glue gun. Am I right? You get burned all the time. You try not to, but you wind up burning yourself with the glue gun. You wind up doing it. That hot glue gets you all the time. All the time. So we're just going to go down the middle now with our ribbons. Open out the tie. Stick it down in there. And tie it. So you know you're going to have to go back and refluff because right now you're pushing the ribbons on the outside in. So you have to go back and refluff. Not a big deal. We're going to do that. Blur it out, making sure it's even. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exact. This is not baking. It's not chemistry. None of the measurements have to be exact. Just get it close to what you're comfortable with. In the middle, tie it in. We're almost done with this part. Making sure that tie in the middle. One more. The last one here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we have here. I think we got a gorgeous wreath, I think it looks great. I love these colors. Is this not popping or what? Look at that. Look at that. Remember what we started with? With just a rail. We just started with a rail. Look at that. Look at that. All the way around. All the way around, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. All the way around. Up the middle. There's no way you're seeing inside. Now, just to give you a recap on what we did for those that just joined us, this is made on a mailbox rail floral. Show it down. Floral. It has ties on the outside. I added ties to the inside right here. Added them, I tied them, and then I glued them down. That way they'll stay put. So these ties right here is what I added to it. The mesh that you see up here, it is cut at 30 inches long and then ruffled together, which means pinched together. So these are 30 inches long. All of the ribbon are cut to 13 inches long. There is 17 ties altogether, so you need 17 30-inch mesh cuts, and you need whatever color ribbon you have, however many you need. Like there was 8 and 7. So you decide on how many you want of 8, how many you want of 7, and that's how many you cut to make sure you get the 17, or it's 9 and 8, whichever one you want to do, however you want to do the numbers. My math is not right now, but you know what I'm saying. Just cut the ribbon for each mesh, each tinsel top. So we have this so far. So I think that looks great. Now, let's see what it looks like with the sign on it. Dun, dun, dun. Look how gorgeous that's going to look, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Once we tie that in. Does that not say spring or what? All right, I'm excited. I'm really excited. So what we do is we go down here. Now this sticks, these are a little longer, right, than the actual frame. So you have to cut it down in, and I got one right here for the center. So what I do is I just take it straight down in between the mesh, find the cross seam, which is right here. I have it. I'll show you in a second. And you just roll it over. So you see, I got it. I got it right here, and then I'm just going to wrap it. I'm just going to wrap it around it. I'm not going to put it too tight right now because I want to make sure I got the placement correct. So I'm just going to wrap it a little bit for right now. I don't want to have it down too far. So we're just going to just wrap it a little bit right now. That's it right there. All right, love you. Now, I'm realizing that that may be a little too high. That may be a little too high. It's hanging over a bit much more than this one. So, you just take it out. That's not going to go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the two ends first, so I can leave it, and then I'll add the middle. So we're going to have it in the middle. That would be the middle is. We go through the mesh on the rail. And once again, we just twist it in. I'm only doing it once. I'm going to do it down here. I'm going to go for the mesh on the rail. And then we'll wrap it around. And we're going to go back to this middle, where the R is. That's what we said the middle is. And we're going to stick it through the mesh. And we're going to find a spot to attach it to. It may not be one of those cross beams. It may be the end beams. And that's where we have to go. And I'll show you it when I get there. Okay. Gorgeous. Look at that. Gorgeous. Spring. I think that looks gorgeous. Look at that. Spring. I'm going to tighten this down a little more. And all I'm doing is just wrapping it around the rail form here in the back. I'm just wrapping this Chanel stem right around that rail form. And I'll wrap it a couple times. I don't want it to go too deep in there. And I'll do the same on the bottom. People ask me all the time, well, how long does it take you to make? It seems like it takes you a long time to make a wreath. No, not necessarily. It all depends on what kind of wreath you're doing. Now, mesh wreaths normally take longer than grapevine wreaths, which will be something I'm doing next. Hopefully, if not tomorrow, I'll be doing it on Tuesday. It's a grapevine wreath. Beautiful spring wreath. That one was too. Once you get it tied down as good as you think you like it tied down, you can tuck this under, tuck the chenille stem under, or either you can cut it off. I'm just securing that middle one a little better. Yep, make sure it's in there. That's it. Twisting it. Twisting it around this middle form. Wrapping it around. And you want to have the back of your wreath as neat as possible. You don't want to have a lot of stuff going on in the back of your wreath. Even though I cover mine, I always like to cover my wreaths. I see a lot of wreath makers don't do that. I just think this just adds something a little bit more personal, that you took the time to cover their wreath to make sure that nothing scrapes their door. They don't get stuck by anything. So I actually take a piece of felt and I measure this and I cut it and I actually zip tie it to the back of the phone. I should have cut it out before the beginning, but I forgot. But that's not a big deal because I don't have to get it on camera. This right here shows you right here. There you go. Spring. Look at that. Wouldn't that look gorgeous on your door? That would look gorgeous on your door. That would look absolutely gorgeous on your door. And guess what? We're not even done. We're not even done. You see the flowers on the top of this right here? We're going to put some flowers up there to match that. Here they go, ladies and gentlemen, the flowers that I showed you earlier. I'm going to get in my caddy. Get some cutters. You always want to have some of these. And you want to stick some flowers in. Now, what you can do at first is these zip ties that's sticking out, you can twist them, make them little curly cues, which is what I'm going to do because they match the color of the wreath. If they didn't match the color of the wreath, then I would really just cut them to lowest as I can get them, and then I would tuck them under. You can use anything to curl them with, knife, little pen, pencil. I'm using a pencil, and I'm just twisting it around the pencil and making like a little curl. That's all I'm making. A little curl. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's like a little curl. I think you can see it right there. It's a little pink curl right here. That's all you make. Also, what that helps you with is where you're going to put your flower. Just stick it right there, girl. If you decide to put the flower in, you may not want to put the flower down the center. You may want to do it. Like I said, this is your design. Make it the way you want to. You don't have to do it the same way I do at all. Or any designer. Any video you watch, you take their concept and you make it your own. I watched one designer, and I think it was Kathy, I think it's Kathy, from Crazy Maisie Creations. I think it's Kathy from Crazy Creations, and she's the one that opened my eyes with mixing material, mixing mesh with burlap. I thought from watching the videos that I had seen as I was beginning my journey with making wreaths is, if you start with mesh, you only work with mesh. That's it. You don't venture. And when I started watching her videos, she started mixing the mesh, burlap with deco mesh. What a concept. And you want to know what? I've done it. Wreaths come out beautiful. Beautiful. So try that. Mix and match stuff. Like I said, none of this is permanent. You take it back out, you do it again. Now, yeah, you get to a point where you start gluing stuff in. Like I'm going to be gluing these flowers in. You get to a point where you start gluing stuff in. Even then, it's not permanent. Because you want to know what? You know what these are for? Cut it right out. Not a big deal. So this mesh likes to stick to everything. So it's kind of sticking to stuff. So you have to just manhandle it a little bit. Not too much. You don't want it to start fraying. just enough to get where you need to go. Now I twisted in those middle ones because I just wanted them down. I got another one here at the end. And I'm going to do the same to the outside, and I'm going to start adding florals to the outside. And like I said, all I'm doing with these things is just twisting them around each other. Just twisting them around. We form one circle, one twisted top, taking the pencil, and then just twisting this around. So it forms like a little spiral curl. So it looks like a little decorative design to the wreath. Alright. That's the bottom. Do the same here. And I think this one we're going to start adding florals. And I think I'm going to just alternate them all the way around. I got some pinks, some yellow, I got some lavender, purple, and I got some white and some blue. And I think we're going to just start alternating them. Make a little curl. Let's see what floral we want to put in. Let's like these purples. What's good about these florals is you can push them up. See how that goes up? You can push them up. And that's what we want. We want them all to bunch up to top. And we just push them up. And it makes a cute little bundle. Cute little bundle. I'm sorry if it's a little hard to see. Like I said, I don't have a little room that's white background. Where you can see everything real good, so I'll try to show it to you as best as I can, but it makes this cute little bundle. You take this little bundle, you see it will fit down here the way you want it. It will. It sticks out a little far, so you just cut this down a little bit more. See how it sticks? Like I said, try it out first before you put it in. See if this is somewhere that you want it. That's cute. This is floral, and that's cute. So what we do, we take the glue gun. I have a glue pot as well. I just then hook it up. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna stick it down in here. I'll stick that down in there, and there you go. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, had to plug in the computer. Forgot to do that. It was letting me know it was going to die on me. Can't let that happen. Okay, we'll move on to another color. Once again, we can push these florals up. Make a cute little bundle. Cut it off. Right here, twist it together, like I do the other ones. And if you didn't want to do this, you don't have to do this. You can cut it off, ladies and gentlemen. You can cut it right off. But I actually use this little circle here to stick my bundle in. It gives some place for the glue to stick to. So you put a little bit on that edge. And you just stick it in, ladies and gentlemen. And stick it down. Push it down here. Let it stay. There we go, flower bundle. Beautiful. And you just go around. Sometimes when you craft and when you're making something that looks a little crazy like this, like, oh my goodness, that's not going to look good. It's not going to be nice. You know, it's a hot mess right now. Just keep working on it. You'll get it. You will get it. Just like when you're painting. When you first start painting, it looks like a hot mess until you get the whole room done. You get the trim on, put the baseboards on, and the room's perfect. You know, same thing. So we put the purple. Let's try white. So we got white here, and like I said, we got a little bit of blue with it, and they're separate. We're gonna put them together. Glue them. It's a little tricky because there's two of them. It's the same concept. Same concept. Just get a little hole there that you need. And you just push it down. That's it. Just push it down. Spread out your ribbon. There you go. What do you think so far? I think it's going to be gorgeous. Look at that. With the little florals. And you'll have the florals going all the way around the outside. You won't put no florals down the middle. At least I don't think so. I'm just going to go and alternate the floral colors around the outside. And then we'll be done. The purple next. Pink and pink. Pink next. And so then you just pull it all up, and that makes a cute little bundle. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you join me, I do appreciate it. I'm Katrina, the owner of Cathene Creation, Wreaths and Things. I'm starting to make videos so I can show you guys how I make my wreaths. I have an Etsy shop. It's also named Cathene Creation, Wreaths and Things. You just have to type in Cathene Creations as one word, no space in between. And you should see my shop pull up. I also have a webpage. It's cathenecreations.com. Once again, if you type in Cathene Creations, make it one word, and my webpage will pop up. I would love for you to go and check it out, see what I have, see if you're interested in anything. Also, I will be doing more videos. All my wreaths will come in the future. This is the first of many. First of many that are definitely coming your way. I'm hoping I have a lot of beginners because I want you guys to know that it can be done. You can do this. This is not something that you can't do. You can do it. And I know you may hear it all the time when people say, you know, if I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. If I can do this, you can do it. It's not something very difficult because it's not exact. This is just using your own imagination. So it's not something that's exact. So this is something that you can definitely do. This is your interpretation of your art. You're not following someone else. And like I said, you could be watching my video, but you can do whichever way you want to. You get the concept from me. And like I said earlier, you can make this a Christmas wreath, Valentine's Day wreath. You can make it any holiday, patriotic, whatever you want to do, you can make it with. Just take this concept and utilize it in the way that you want to utilize it in. That's all. You just make it that way. Little stem. I do like to use my glue top for this most times, but I just didn't plug in anything. Get it all melted. I forgot all about it. See, as I start making more videos, I'll be more prepared, ladies and gentlemen. I will definitely be more prepared. But this is my first video. So, little ditches here and there. Oh, about to take a photo tag off. Okay, so make sure you take that off. Just the ties. And say you didn't want to put flowers on it. You didn't have to. This is done. This is really done. What you're doing now, when you add something else to it, you're just embellishing it. That's all it is. And it's not something you have to do. Like some people feel like you have to do it. You have to do it. If it's not something you want to do, you don't have to do it. Not at all. You don't have to do it. I said, find that little hole from the little curly tie, and you just press it down. And there you go. Nothing but a flower bundle. Let's see how it looks like that. Like that. I think that looks great. So we can get a close up. Going all the way around. Close up. There you go. Let's continue. I won't keep you out too much longer. I do appreciate you staying with me if you stay with me this long. Alright. Room there with the flowers on. Twist it. If you're just joining me, I am Katrina, the owner of Cathene Creation Wreaths and Things. I'm making a spring wreath rail today. My mesh is a natural jute mesh with spring stripe colors in it. They are cut at 30 inches long, 10 inches wide, 30 inches long. The mesh was already 10 inches. It's right here. And then I cut it 30 inches long. I added some Chanel stems to the middle rail because these rails don't come with anything in the middle. I added an extra line of Chanel stems for the middle rail. And then I cut my mesh 30 inches long, 17 of them because it was 17. Maybe 17 little pipe cleaners around this once you put the ones in the middle. So then you cut the mesh 30 inches long, 17, so you have one for each one. I then cut my ribbon 13 inches long and enough to fit into the 17. So it all depends on how many of these you want. You cut either half, 17, of course, you have to do your numbers that way to make sure you have enough to go into each one. Those are my ribbons that I cut, and like I said, I cut them in 13 inches long with my ribbons. After I did that, I attached I put my ribbons in each one, then I attached my sign, which was a natural wood sign that I painted with spring colors. I got these painted spring colors. After we put the sign on with the spring colors, I then started to put these florals in. That's what we are now. And we put in florals. That's the sign. Thanks to the since it's a spring wreath, I wanted to make sure it had a little spring look. That was just me. You could have been finished with where I was with just putting the sign and having a ribbon on it. You could have been finished. You do not have to put the flowers in. I just went very floral because of the spring. And to me, florals yell and scream spring. That's why I like to use florals in my spring designs. What I'm doing here, you see those twisting these ties together, making one, and then making them like a spiral. And then I stick my ends of my florals with glue down in that, and that helps attach it to the wreath. You don't have to do that. I do it because to me it just helps it attach better, gives it something to attach to. Then you just stick it down in my mesh. It gives the glue somewhere to attach to as well. We're going to make sure we have it well attached. We don't want to mail this off to someone when they get it home and put it on their door and the flowers fall out. Don't want that. So you're going to make sure you have something for it to attach to. That way it stays. Once again, those ties. So you push this up because it was down. You gotta just push it up. Put it where you want it. Put a little bit of glue. And that in. Glue it up real good. So I'd rather be using my glue pot right now. But I forgot to turn it on. So no glue pot today. We're gonna be using glue gun. We're almost finished with it. We only got 3 more to go for this wreath will be done. I'm not doing a bow on this wreath. I think it has enough with the florals, the sign, the ribbons, because the ribbons just speaks for themselves. With the bow, to me, would be a little bit too much. And that's just me. Maybe you want to do a bow. Although, like I said, you do not have to copy everything that I'm doing. Make it your own. If you want to do a couple of small bows all around, do a couple small bows all around. Absolutely. Put in what you like. Make it your own. The flowers again. Show you once again. Take the florals. And you push it up. Florals. And you push it up. And you make the little bundle. Down in there. This is something to hold on to. So you're gonna have these little glue strands, and you just have to go back in and get rid of those. But that's what happens when you use glue. It's okay, it's not a problem. It'll be fine. Last 3. We will be done, ladies and gentlemen. We will be done. Last 3. You guys have made it this far. Thank you so much for visiting me, hanging out with me, spending your precious time with me, seeing what I can make and what you can make from this. Hopefully we can learn from each other and grow with each other. I'm new to wreath making. It's only been 2 years for me with making wreaths. I'm looking to grow a lot more and do a lot more. Hopefully with you guys' help, my business can grow even more than what it is right now. If you don't mind, you can go over to my Etsy page, take a look at what I have, which is Kathleen Creations on Etsy, and it's all one word. Also, if you want to visit my webpage, it's KathleenCreations.com, and it's also one word. Kathleen Creations, one word. I will definitely be doing more videos in the future. I think the next one I'm going to be doing, but it's not going to be tomorrow, it'll be the day after. It'll be a grapevine wreath. That's also going to be a spring one. The spring is right here on the corner. We're going to get our spring stuff up. Because before you know it, it'll be July. And we all know what that means. July is Christmas. You start doing all your Christmas and your fall. And by August, have your Halloween stuff out already. So, if you're new to wreathing business, that's how that goes. So, in July, you start your Christmas stuff. Get all your Christmas stuff out. July, by end of July, August, you start your Halloween stuff. You gotta have your Christmas, your fall, and your Halloween stuff done by September. Or at least have most of it done by September. That's when you need to have your pages stocked. Your Etsy, your business page, whatever you want to stock, wherever you want people to buy your stuff from, that's where you need to have your stuff stocked up. That is our busiest time. It's definitely during Christmas. and they start purchasing Christmas. The customers start purchasing Christmas. Amazingly, in July, August, September, they have their Christmas trees up. And most people have their Christmas trees already. So you make sure you have them done. So you have something for them to look at. Okay. You're going to push it all up. Lift up, shoot with a bundle. Shoot with a bundle. Let me know if you're new to wreath making like I am. Let me know how long you've been making wreaths, if you're making wreaths. Or like I asked earlier, what craft do you do? What's your craft? I would love to know. And my last one, ladies and gentlemen, last one. I don't know, maybe I have some things in there. I don't think so. I think I'm going to let the spring sign stand out. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to let the spring sign stand out. I'm not going to put too much on it. I'm going to let the colors and the florals just speak for itself. Because you can embellish all day long. You can keep going, adding stuff. You can. But sometimes keeping it simple is where it should be. Alright, last couple. Uh-oh. Move on to the next one. That may happen. Not a big deal. Move on to the next one. I don't know what I already pushed up already. And that may happen. Not a big deal. You move on to the next one. So don't get all, oh, it's all, no, it's fine. This is crafting, like I said. This is not chemistry. It's not baking. You gotta have the exact science. This is crafting. Your things can change, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. Stick that in there a little bit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're just about done. This is it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Ribbon. I'm going to take my ribbon down. And this is why I cut my ribbon at 13 inches. You see how they show? You can really see them really good. It brings in a lot of color to this wreath. And that's why I do that. Now you can cut yours 12 if you like. You don't want it showing as much. Or if you want to show even more, cut it to 14. But then that will cut down on you seeing your beautiful mesh as well. So you want to make sure you be able to see your mesh. So when you're doing your wreath, you cut it and you see where you're comfortable at. But I tend to like 13. It makes it really nice. Now when I have a mesh that I want to show off more of, then I will cut it down to 12. We're just going around, just fluffing out our ribbons. That's all we're doing. Fluffing out our flowers and our ribbons. Get rid of our little blue strings that you may see as we go around. Fluff out our ribbon. And we have got it smooshed. Fluff them out, checking our flowers, making sure they're good. Placing everything when you want it. That is supposed to be done. We're going to move that one over. Another one. Is that where we want it? I think we have one. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how we do. What do you think? What do you think? I think that came out beautiful. Look how full and pretty that is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Once again, I am Katrina, the owner of Kathleen Creations Wreaths and Things. So happy you was able to join me today and we can make this beautiful wreath together. I look forward to making plenty more wreaths with you in the future. Hopefully tomorrow, if not, I'll be doing it on Tuesday, probably around the same time, but I will definitely let you know. Thanks again for coming and doing the wreath with me today. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. Bye.